Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Chrissy Souders, and I'm happy to host this great webinar today with Shayna Wilkes from the Office of Economic Vitality. Thank you so much for being here, Shayna.
Hi, Chrissy. It is wonderful to be here. Looking forward to providing some great information and hopefully being able to answer a lot of questions that people have heard about the program, but never really had an opportunity to explore what it was about.
Absolutely. And you are going to be talking about certification process for minority women and small business enterprise. You are the senior coordinator with MWSBE. So you are the person to talk to in regards to this. So we are super excited. We also want to encourage everyone who's watching right now to make sure you share your comments and questions with us. That way we can go ahead and get those questions over to Shanae during her presentation. And at the end of the presentation, I will be working behind the scenes to make sure you've got all those questions for you, Shanae.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'm sure we're going to have a great presentation. Wonderful. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on today. My name is Shanae Wilkes. I'm the Senior Coordinator with the Tallahassee-Leon County Office of Economic Vitality. And as your screen displays, today we're going to discuss or present information to you relative to certification, a key for accessing business opportunities. And so once I get farther down into the presentation, you'll better understand how that title fits with our information. So in the MWSBE division, that acronym stands for, my apologies, Minority Women and Small Business Enterprise Division. And so one of the things that we do here, one of our functions is we certify businesses. There is an application and vetting process that applicants go through when they are interested in doing business with Leon County or the city of Tallahassee or Blueprint. The process is for those vendors that are interested in either participating on a contract as a member of a project team, as a subcontractor, or they may choose to bid as a prime on a smaller project, or there may be I don't want to say large scale, but there may be projects that they wish to self-perform on. This certification identifies those individuals that successfully complete the process. All dollars that are expended with them, we're able to track that when we provide our annual reporting. Another thing that our office does, or one of its functions associated with the certification, we review projects to identify opportunities for MWSBEs. And this effort has resulted in increased participation within our procurement processes for Leon County and the city of Tallahassee. And beyond the beyond the contracting opportunities that we identify, we also provide networking opportunities, business to business engagement, where we will bring prime contractors and subcontractors relative to the construction industry, or we may bring together a group of individuals that provide services in what's considered professional services together, just to meet and greet and familiarize themselves with one another. Because one of the things that we know is that in any of the events that we pull together for our businesses, they may be in the room with their next business opportunity or business partner. And so our overall effort and intent and focus is to engage, educate, equip, and empower our certified businesses. Next slide, please. So next, we're going to look at the types of certification that are offered through the MWSBE division. Next slide, please. So within the MWSBE division, there are 3 certification types. There's the Minority Business Enterprise Certification, Woman-Owned Business Enterprise Certification, and Small Business Enterprise Certification. These designations provide benefits and opportunities to applicants that are successful in completing the certification process. Next slide, please. Next, we'll look at certification eligibility. And so here on this particular slide, you can see that we do have some eligibility requirements based upon the certification designations that we offer for the MBE, or the minority-owned business. In order to be eligible for certification, that business must be owned and controlled by 51% minority owner or ownership. It can be multiple owners, but at the end of the day, what we're looking at is the composition of the ownership. Are there 51% ownership of minorities within the business? Same thing for women-owned businesses. Is the business controlled by a woman, or does the ownership lie with 51% of ownership being assigned to women within the company that control or that control the operations or hold the ownership? And lastly, our SBE certification, there are no race and gender requirements. And that is because in order to have a balanced program, we offer not just minority-owned and woman-owned, but we offer the SBE certification. Again, there are no race or gender requirements. It's just a matter of meeting the other criteria. And so some of the additional requirements, but not the only ones that we look at within a certification application. The first one being is the business and the owner within the Leon County, Gadsden County, Jefferson, or Wakulla County region. And when I speak to the business, I'm speaking to the corporate office. Not just a satellite, but the corporate office and the owner must reside in Leon County. Yes, ma'am.
This is so helpful. We've got a great question from Kristen. She asks, does this apply to nonprofit organizations?
Thank you for that, for that question, Kristen. And so, no, it does not. And I was about to get to that as one of the eligibility requirements. This certification is for profit businesses only. However, what I can tell you is that TCC, Tallahassee Community College, through their, and my apologies, I cannot give you the full name of the organization, but they have a nonprofit institute where they offer certification. They have a certification program and process. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would encourage you to search for the Nonprofit Institute at Tallahassee Community College, and I'm sure they can provide you more information relative to nonprofit certification. So continuing on, another requirement is that the business must be in operation for at least a year from the date of application submission. That is one of the first things we are going to look at. So for example, today is February 24th. If you were to submit your application today, the first thing we would look for is, was the business established? And when I say established, I mean registered with the Florida Division of, Department of State Division of Corporations. Was that business legally structured for at least 1 year? So that would mean you would have had to have done that by February 24th, 2020 or before. It has to be 1 year. Also, again, the business must be for profit, and you must demonstrate that you are being paid for the services that you say you provide. How you do that is by way of tax returns and or financial statements. But that's one of the things that we require in this process. So one of the things that I want to share, a lot of times people confuse our certification process with registration. This is not a registration. This is certification. Registration is basically in a lot of organizations, it's just a matter of providing your name and your contact information so you can be added to their list to receive information. And while we do the same, however, we are vetting your business to say anyone that may conduct a search through our online directory. Our certification process says that we have vetted you, that we have determined based on our eligibility requirements that this business has met our criteria, and we believe that they will be able to provide the services as they have self-identified. And then finally, another requirement is the business must have a net worth of $5 million or less for 2 tax return years prior to the application submission. Next slide, please. So what are some of the benefits for certification? Next slide, please. So we believe our program is very important to the small business owner, whether you're a minority-owned, woman-owned, or a small business as identified earlier. One of the great things is that certified businesses are featured in our online certification directory. This is important because we have various users of that online directory. Not only do we have prime contractors that review that directory seeking certified businesses, staff members utilize that directory seeking certified businesses, as well as I've even been contacted by outside organizations, even including other government jurisdictions wanting to just review the types of businesses that we have certified. And the other thing about our online directory is that it is web-based, it's live at all times, and so anyone can go there 24/7 and find your information if you are successful in completing the process. Another benefit is that certified businesses, they are included in what's called our capital loop. It's a business and retention program that we have as one of our functions here in the office. Certified businesses also receive regular updates for special events, procurement opportunities, and various types of information. Pretty much, if we receive something that we believe will benefit our local business community, particularly those that are certified through our program, the MWSBE division will share that information with you. Additionally, we offer what we call our industry academies, and these are designed specifically to educate certified business owners, and they are hosted in cooperation with the Florida A&M University Small Business Development Center, the Big Bend Minority Chamber of Commerce, and Career Source in order to assist you in maximizing your competitiveness through your ability to obtain training from our local experts and practitioners. And finally, as I mentioned before, we offer business-to-business networking opportunities where local certified firms and primes within our local area are able to connect and engage with one another and hopefully create some great working partnerships. Next slide, please. Small business enterprise. So the small business enterprise certification, the benefits work a little bit differently. They are the same as what I shared before, in that a small business is identified in our directory and they are able to maximize on the training that we offer and things of that nature. But one of the great things about being a small business enterprise is that small businesses are have the opportunity to have projects reserved, to be able to bid on projects that are what we call unbundled, where a larger project, and I'm just going to make this up, it may have scopes of work for painting, it may have scopes of work for concrete. It may have scopes of work for concrete and landscaping. And so rather than have all of that in one project, there are times, not every single opportunity, where it is determined to be feasible to break those out. And so what would happen is anyone certified as an SBE for landscaping, they could bid that project directly. They would not work as a subcontractor. They would be provided the opportunity to participate as a prime for that project. And so what that means is the project size is a little smaller. It's only advertised to SBEs, and the dollar value is smaller. But it's helpful because when bidding a project, the value associated with that project impacts the type and amount of bonding that is required. And so we believe that by reserving projects, it makes the opportunity to bid as a prime more feasible, I would say. I don't want to necessarily say a little bit easier, but it's a greater opportunity on a smaller project as opposed to a project that's for $500,000 or $1 million. Next slide, please. So about the certification process. Next slide, please. So certifying businesses in our local community is just one of the steps in which we seek to equip MWSBEs with the necessary resources to compete locally. And so our certification process, it is online completely. We require, or our system requires, that you create an account. You complete the online application for the certification type that you are seeking. You must provide supporting documentation to your application. And on occasion, we may require more information than what you have provided. And so we will reach out to you via email to request that information. And so in order to move the process along, if you respond in a timely manner, it helps us in being able to process your application. Next slide, please. And so here on this slide, just giving you a couple of graphics so you will be familiar should you make the determination that you would like to apply for certification. You may start the process there as indicated at www.oevforbusins.mwsbe.com. And when you go to that website, the graphic on the left that says Contract Compliance Management System, that is the front-facing side of our portal. And from there, you would click, as it is circled. It might be a little difficult to see depending on what you're viewing our webinar on, but it says apply /renew certification. And when you do that, it'll open to the screen that's adjacent to our portal screen, and you will identify whether you and I can hardly see that, but you will identify whether you are new to the process or whether you if you do not have an account, you can create an account from here. Or if you have logged into our system before, but for other reasons other than certification, then you can log in using your username and password. One thing that I want you to keep in mind should you pursue this process is that even if you forget your password, you can always have another one reassigned. However, your username will always be your email address. Always. It does not change unless you change the email address for which you wish to be contacted. Next slide, please. And so here we talk about creating a new account a little bit more. As I said, if you've accessed the system, you will click login, and once you're able to successfully log in, the system will open to your dashboard, and on the dashboard you will find a link that says apply for or renew certification. If you've never accessed the system before and you wish to begin the process, then you would choose create an account. And like I said before, if you have accessed the system before, but you've forgotten your password, then you would want to choose the lookup account information, because one of the great things about the system is that once you enter your information, it's in there. You do not have to enter it multiple times. It will retain it until you update it. And so from the lookout page, you will respond to the questions regarding your business through one or more fields, and you will conduct your search from there. And again, the system will also allow you the ability to search for your username and pull your information from there. Next slide, please. Okay, so once you're able to log into the system and access the application, now you are actually beginning the process of what we call determining eligibility. And so you will choose your firm is currently certified, which in our world, your firm is currently or has previously been certified with our office. Even if you're not certified now, you would choose that option because, like I said, once your information is entered into the system, it's in there. And so there's a way that the system recognizes you relative to which application or whether you're eligible or not. If your firm has never been certified and is not currently been certified, then you would select that bottom option. Your firm is not currently certified. From there, you will select the option adjacent to that. Here it's going to ask you some additional questions. And so basically, and I'm sorry, y'all, this is really tiny. Your firm is currently certified with Tallahassee, Leon County. For every option that you choose, it's going to ask you subsequent questions, such as your firm is located in Florida. If you click that, then it'll take you to the next question. If you say, I am in Florida, and then you'll just review the remaining questions to determine whether to identify the application that you would like to apply for. If your firm is not located in Florida, then you are provided another set of options. Next slide, please. So, common issues that are encountered, and I'm just gonna whip through these because we have a few more slides to get through, and I know we have some questions. So, I cannot find my company in the system. All companies currently, like I said before, all companies currently certified or previously certified with our office, you are in the system. So you may need to try some different search criteria, such as basically searching by your name. If someone else was the contact for your company and they handled all the paperwork, then their name is going to be listed as the contact. So we encourage you to start with your business name first. Next slide, please. Okay, I did not receive the username and password email. When you are seeking to reset your password, we encourage you to check your spam folder or your junk email folder in the event your email service provider, they blocked the message or they sent the email to one of those folders. But you will want to look for an email regarding a password reset from Tallahassee, Leon County. Next slide, please. My contact information as listed is incorrect. Within the system, you have the ability to update your contact information at any time. And you may do so by clicking the change info button that you would see on your dashboard. However, you can also contact customer support for assistance with obtaining access to the system. And one of the things that I want to stress, not just for this process, but for any process in which you have provided your contact information, if you change your phone number, if you change your email address, any means that you have for contacting you, if you change that information and you want to continue to receive information from our office or any other organization, please make sure that your information is current and correct. I have been contacted. Well, I didn't get the email, or I didn't receive a friend of mine, they have a business, they received the information, but I didn't get it. And then we go through and review the contact information, and then we determine that, oh, okay, well, this is the email address we have. Oh, I changed it last year, or I changed it and I'm no longer using that. So you don't have to wait for us. You can log into the system and update your information. But like I said, it's good business practice. Just a little tip I want to drop here to make sure that anyone that you wish to contact you, that you keep your information current with them. Next slide, please. My company is listed, but I am not personally listed. So in an instance like this, if you have used a staff person as your contact, then what they can do is they can add an account for you to use, or you can contact us and submit a new user request form. Um, Not being listed, we can get you added to your account in the event you were utilizing a staff person to access the system, to enter or update your information. Next slide, please. The person listed for my company is no longer with the business. Same thing, same type of situation. You can request to have a new user added, or you can request to have the information updated. You can update it yourself. And you can also request that their information be deactivated. Next slide, please. The application is requesting a document that does not apply to me nor my business, and I am unable to move forward. The simplest way to be able to move forward in the process is to upload a document that says this does not apply to my business, and you will be able to move forward to the next question. However, if that information is necessary in staff making a final determination regarding your certification, we will follow up with you for additional information via email. All right, so we've gone through a lot of information, and we are now at the Q&A part. So, Chrissy.
We've got some great questions for you, Shanae. First question is from Adam K., and he's with Railroad Square Art District. Hey, Adam. He asks, what about other local certification or status that certifies areas to be equally represented? At Railroad Square Art District, we want to ensure that we represent the demographics of our community equally. How do we assess this? And if we're not there, how do we increase MWSBE community members' tenants?
Oh boy. Okay. So
it's a big question.
That is a very big question. And so I'm not quite prepared to respond to that now. However, Adam, what I can share with you, and I out of the sake of time, I didn't delve into heavily some of the other units within our office, but there is an opportunity for us to be able to follow up with you and assist you with information that will help you to determine possibly some means and methods that you could utilize to increase your MWSBE membership. So if you'd be so kind, if you can share your email address. I don't know if there's a way to do that privately, or as a matter of fact, don't share your email address. My email address is provided at the end of the presentation. If you would just make note of that, there it is. And let me just caution everyone, my email address and my phone number are listed. Right now, it's quicker to get me via email. So any questions that you have that we're not able to address during the presentation, please send me an email at swilks@oevforbusiness.org. And thank you for that question, Adam, and I will follow up with you.
And I believe he's asking on behalf of a lot of the businesses that are located in Railroad Square are women minority-owned businesses. So good questions, and definitely one that you'll need to sink your teeth in, I'm sure.
Yes.
The next question that we have is from Juanita Webster. She says, I would like to get recertified. Can I come into the office? Also, what do I need to bring?
Okay, Juanita, send me an email, please, and we can discuss how you can achieve that. Right now, we are not taking in-office visitors. However, there is an opportunity for us to teleconference or Zoom or through Teams. I mean, we can get it done. We can absolutely get it done. But the other thing is our process is online. So we'll need to discuss how to get your documentation into the system. So please send me an email so we can schedule a time to discuss your situation and figure out how you can get your information submitted. And thank you. And thank you,
And of
Adam.
course, we know that all questions are by situational. So this one's more of an overview question that maybe will translate to other places. This gentleman, Daryl Treadwell. Hi, Daryl. Thank you for joining us. In business for just over a year. No returns as of yet. What is the impact for businesses that are at the pre-profitability stage?
Okay, great question. And thank you, Daryl. Pre-profitability does not meet the criteria for our program. As I said previously, you must demonstrate that you're being paid for the services for which you provide. And sometimes there are ways to look at an application. You're just 1 year in. There may be some information that you can provide that we could further discuss. So if you would like to discuss your situation further, again, please send me an email. I will follow up with you and we can discuss it further.
And that, quite honestly, is a normal situation for most businesses who are just starting out their first year. Maybe you're not making a profit in the first year. You know, it goes back to that old adage that, you know, you don't start making profit unless you're really lucky, until, you know, the third, fourth, or fifth year. So good questions. And thank you, everyone. This has been a great informational webinar. Again, Shana, could you go ahead and explain people how they need to get in touch with you just in case they have further questions?
Okay, so my contact information is on the screen, Shanae Wilkes. My email address, swilkes@oevforbusiness.org. My phone number is 850-300-7563. But again, it's quicker to get me by email, so I encourage you to email me with any and all questions, and I will respond. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. Thank you for your time. You guys have been great with your questions, and I actually see one. Will the presentation be available for download? Yes. We will have it. We will be able to provide it. So probably a quicker way rather than download. I believe this is Gwendolyn Staten. Send me an email, swilkes@oevforbusiness.org, and we'll get the presentation to you.
Yes, and we do have the presentation that will be saved on Facebook, so you can always go back to the Facebook feed to watch the full video. And we also do have a YouTube link for you to check out the video as well.
Awesome. I've been empowered with new information.
Absolutely. Well, Shana, this has been great, and I look forward to the next webinar with OEV. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Have a wonderful day.
Everybody. Bye now.